The Ford government has introduced new measures to crack down on renovictions. That is, evicting tenants under the guise of renovations to raise rents. But this latest push to protect tenants includes no new rent controls that housing advocates and the opposition at Queen's Park have been pushing for. Under the proposed changes, landlords will have to provide a report from a qualified person to vacate a unit for a reno. The tenant would be updated in writing on the status of the renovation. Once complete, landlords must give tenants the opportunity to move back in at the same rent with a grace period.
Giving a right to return with a 60-day window after their unit is completed at the same rents that they were previously paying, I think, is a good thing.
But Eric Lombardi with More Neighbours Toronto says a big part that's missing is what rights tenants will have for compensation in the interim.
We need strong rental replacement laws to ensure that people are not pulled out of the housing or uprooted from the housing that they do have.
The NDP's housing critic agrees. She says even with these new changes, a landlord can still move a new tenant in post-renovation.
I'm not seeing anything in these new rules today that will guarantee a tenant can get their home back.
Ontario's New Democrats have long called for rent control on new builds to increase fairness in the rental market.
Will you at least bring back real rent control to get Ontarians some relief?
Real rent control.
From the House Leader.
So, Mr. Speaker, what we're doing is we're building homes in all parts of the province.
During question period, the government argued it doesn't want to hinder the building of new rental units at a time when the demand for housing far outweighs supply.
The reality is that we have to move out of the way red tape and the obstacles that have been causing this crisis.
Is there a disappointment that, there were no new rent controls as a part of this announcement?
The NDP has often pushed for what's called vacancy decontrol, which means rents actually carry forward between new tenants. The problem with that is that it really disincentivizes new purpose-built rental, which is good for affordable housing stock, but then you don't end up producing enough new rentals. The core piece here is people should not see above inflation increases in their rent. I do think people need protection, and it's a worthy debate to have.
The province is also proposing to boost the number of adjudicators at the Landlord and Tenant Board to help address the backlog of thousands of cases waiting to be heard. For City News, I'm Caryn Ceolin.